Greetings, you benevolent nobles who have simply hit hard times, and welcome back to Stellaris with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to our latest full playthrough, finally using the Under One Rule Origin. The origin in which we get our legendary leader, and we take him and become the true emperor of the entire galaxy, proclaiming the Galactic Imperium and defending against the crisis, proving our worth and our divine right to rule. Now, to do this, we are going to be playing a type of empire I don't really play normally, which is a fanatic militarist. The reason is, our main goal today, in addition to, of course, becoming the Imperium, is to test out some really powerful traits I've only recently realized can stack incredibly well, especially in the late game. Less so in the early game, but late game, I think this empire is going to take off and be nigh unstoppable. These traits are things like Military Pioneer, Architect of War, Genius Armorer, and any of the others which will reduce ship build speed while increasing ship build cost. Other way around, Lathrix. Let's try that again. So our ships are going to be built incredibly cheaply and incredibly quickly. By the end, our battleship should be about the same price as a starter corvette and built about as fast as one, and our corvette should be essentially free and built almost instantly, making us essentially unstoppable in the very late game. Now, I don't think we're going to be particularly powerful in the early game, which is going to be fun because we're not going to be using scaling difficulty today, and we are going to be having the endgame crisis 100 years early rather than our standard 75 years early, so everything is hopefully going to happen a lot faster. We are also going to be fanatic militarist, so extra fire rate and everything else, and materialist, which is purely for the bonus of our leader, which I'll get into in just a moment. So with the actual empire itself, we have distinguished admiralty. This will give extra levels to our admirals in general straight away, in addition to more ship fire rate and more fleet command limit. It also allows an admiral on the council, which is the whole point. By the end, we're going to have 5 councillors, all with those bonuses we discussed a moment ago. We also have Philosopher King for more experience gain for the council, and once again, this will allow an admiral. And it also means that our leader, rather than starting off at level 4, thanks to the origin, is going to start off at level 6, which is really, really good. So with our leader himself, the good Emperor Charnel. Now, Charnel is a weird name, I admit. It comes from a charnel house, which is where you store bones and such from a church. It has other meanings as well, but I'm getting it from one of my first ever games, Sacrificed by Shiny Entertainment, where one of the beloved gods was named Charnel. You know, the god of death, decay, pestilence, and all those other lovely things we wish to bring to the galaxy. Maybe growing up on those games is the reason I am the way I am now. Anyway, back to ruler traits. We are Inspired General, giving us more fleet command limits, extra navy capacity, and starting experience. And then, the reason why we are Materialist, Titan of Industry. At rank 1, this is giving you plus 10% minerals, plus 5% alloys, plus 5% consumer goods. At level 3, it's 30, 15, 15. That will make our economy, right there, because we are not going to be focusing on tech at all during this run. Until the very late game, it's all going to be economy and military. Very little else, a little bit of unity mixed in. Our species are the wonderful Charnel's Chosen. And yes, that does mean the Empire and species are the same. They are quick learners, enduring, natural engineers, and traditional. I don't know if I need enduring, since Perfected Genes already gives the plus 25, but I really don't want to lose leaders, so I will be leaving that. Before we begin, here are the difficulty settings. The galaxy size is set to medium. We have a standard galaxy type. We have the AI Empire set to 12, which is a little bit higher than the default with medium. And we're only going with medium because recently I did have to stop a run because of the sheer amount of lag near the end game, which, to be honest, is partially my fault since I do have growth required scaling set to 0. It just feels so much more satisfying when all of the empires are completely filling their worlds and all the bonuses to growth rate and all the different worlds you build really have an impact. And I feel like growth required scaling turns a lot of that away, but I do think I need to start turning that on a little bit in future runs. Maybe. The crisis type is set to random. We have the endgame incredibly early at 2300 at maximum strength. We have the mid-game early as well. Difficulty is Grand Admiral. Scaling is off, which means they get all of these cheating bonuses from the very start of the game, although I am leaving off difficulty adjusted AI modifiers. I may turn this on in the future. It essentially doubles all of the tech all of the AI empires get, which I just find breaks the pacing of the game, but recently I'm also now learning that the combos you can have with councillors in the recent DLC also breaks the game over the random AI, so this is gonna turn on depending on how well this run goes. If it's broken near the end, I'll turn it on. If it feels better, I'll keep it off. And that is pretty much everything. So hopefully much more of a challenge than usual, since normally I do have the scaling difficulty set to an early mid-game. This time, they're cheating from the very start. More economy, more fleets, more everything. So with that, let's get going. Hey everyone, Future Lathrix here, hopefully super quickly. So the only thing I really want to say is a massive apology for how long it's been taking to get videos out over the last couple of months. Normally this would be because of a life event or things I'm doing in the background, but honestly, this time it was just because multiple videos ended up being scrapped. One of which was a week-long project to do the All Crisis in Stellaris, a full playthrough, and it ended up glitching out near the end, in addition to being really laggy, partially my own fault there, and I just really didn't like the footage on top of that, so that has delayed things massively. So I do apologize for that, but I do really hope you enjoyed this video. I loved putting it together. It was a much faster one, and honestly, this origin has to be one of my favourites. The story behind it, I think, is wonderful, and hopefully you enjoy it too. Now, back to the past, and back to the full playthrough. My Patreon will also be delayed for a while until I get back into the groove of making weekly videos. That's all, goodbye. And so begins our glorious militarist empire over to the very, very left of the galaxy. Now, before we read all of this, there is something I do need to check. This won't really cause a reset of the game or anything else, but what I'm really hoping is that at very least the God Emperor is a militarist. The reason for this is this will allow us to have Architect of War. Now, if they aren't militarist, it's fine. It simply means we'll go down the route of Genius Armorer or some other Destiny trait, but it would be so good if they are militarist. Which they are. Now, to be fair, it is very, very likely they were militarist. We are fanatic militarist after all, so all of our leaders are far more likely to be militarist than anything else. The head of research is materialist, and the Minister of Defense is militarist, which is fantastic for us. We then get to level up our leaders several times, so I would actually love that. So logistic understanding and skirmisher rank 2 or logistic understanding rank 2. So logistic understanding is less ship upkeep, skirmisher is more sublight speed and more damage. Honestly, less upkeep, if we can stack some of those, is just too good. I don't know if that was the right choice, honestly, but either way, that's actually a fantastic Minister of Defense. Now, with the God Emperor, the God Emperor shines upon us. So a military pioneer is exactly what I wanted to see there. This is the veteran trait I want all of our leaders to stack up, because this is going to reduce ship build cost and increase ship build speed. And we're going to have 5 admirals, so if we can rank this up to max on all of our admirals, then get Architect of War, which is a better version of this on top of that, we're essentially, by the end game, going to have ships which cost almost nothing and are made almost instantly. So battleships costing less than corvettes and all that other good stuff. So I'll get that just to lock it in, and then I'll go with Titan of Industry rank 2. This means we're also getting more minerals, alloys, and consumer goods straight away at the very, very start of the game. Then, let's expand the council. Now, back to the lore itself. We, of course, are under one rule. Our civilization has always been prone to conflict. Empires and kingdoms rose, but never lasted, always collapsing under the pressure of internal strife. This culture of polarization climaxed when our world was consumed by war. Amidst the chaos, a leader emerged. The God Emperor Charnel managed to assemble a gathering of followers who were drawn to his selflessness, charisma, and authority. Finally, someone was poised to unite us. The unification was a long and painful process, but one after another the warring factions eventually surrendered and fell in line, cowed by the God Emperor's promises of a future amongst the stars. For the first time in centuries, we have peace, but under the surface, the scars of old grievances run deep. So in terms of gameplay early on, it's just going to be really aggressive expansion and focusing almost entirely on our economy, which won't be too bad because once again we do have Titan of Industry, meaning we're getting 10% more of the specialist resources and 15% more alloys, which is really, really lovely this early on. Oh, and we have a very interesting system next to us. Only one of these worlds is actually of use to us, but still nice to see those for the future. So soon we'll have the event, the Unifying Promise, which will want us to colonize as many worlds as possible, in addition to get as many systems as possible, which will improve the Luminary trait of the God Emperor. I'm also going to be on a lookout for... Oh my god, the game is so nice to me. So this is what I was on the lookout for, a governor with the Shipwright trait. This will be our new head of research, because it's essentially military pioneer, but only for low-level governors. Well, we need more unity then. Okay, economy and unity. So a bit of a change there. Okay, so we found our neighbor almost immediately. On top of that, it looks like it's going to be the Federation origin, because as soon as I got the option for first contact with one, I had the option for first contact with all three. I did beat them to this, though. I think that may even be a construction vessel currently in the system, so I've blocked them off, so at least I can expand this way nice and safely. The main issue there is just, although I don't want to be hyper-aggressive to begin with, we do need to be somewhat aggressive with this empire, and you can't really attack the Super Federation for a good while, especially on non-scaling difficulty. Okay, so normally, with this, I would choose the middle option. Grant them additional funding, because what that does is it guarantees your first world is going to be a perfect unity world, it builds a super monument, which increases happiness and unity produced in that world. But this time around, I really want my resources to build my military, to probably build a bastion here, to be completely honest. In fact, I'll start that right now. And I really want to get more points towards the unifying promise, so what I'm going to do is go with focus on something more practical. I don't know what this will actually give me. So on top of that, we do have the unifying promise. We must deliver on our promises. Charnel's chosen citizens are counting on us to grow into a spacefaring empire in the coming 40 years. We should strive to expand our nation by controlling systems, colonizing planets, and if we encounter other empires, signing defense pacts. After 40 years, our ruler's luminary trait will improve for every 15 points of progress we've made. So currently, we're going to get 1 upgrade. Hopefully, we'll get at least 4. I think the best I've done in testing is I got to 100 points. But to be fair, I did also get a lithoid in a migration pact, so I was able to grab every single world, so we'll see how things go. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so this choice also improved the luminary trait. So rather than funding a super monument, instead we're getting a residential monument, increasing housing and amenities. Today, we have made history. Never before has our species realized a grander achievement. The people of the colony wanted to honor me today, but they are the real heroes of our people. I am but a servant of our nation. Thanks to you, we take another step towards a brighter future. Such humility. This is why I refuse to have these proud colonists build a monument in my name. Instead, the funds are being used for city building. Prosperity awaits. And so the council is expanded. Oh, I was like 1 day too late. That is ridiculous. So there's actually a really good admiral I wanted to hire, and it just refreshed. So let's see. No militarists. Wow, that has messed us up a little bit. I mean, that one isn't too bad, especially since they are also an entrepreneur, so they'll start giving us some monthly consumer goods. It's fine. We don't need every single admiral to be a militarist. It is better because I want Architect of War, but things like Genius Armourer can give us loads of bonuses in the early game, so it's fine. We'll have one which isn't a militarist. Now, for once, I've gone down the route of aptitude first. Normally, I go down the route of the other leader-focused tradition tree or something else, like prosperity, but I really wanted to grab leadership conditioning as soon as possible. This is immensely powerful if you're going down a leader-based build, which of course we are, because not only is it plus 10% experience for both the active and initial effect, more importantly, it gives all of your leaders a full level. Unless they're above level 5, then it's 2,000 experience. That is a lot of experience. An absolute immense amount, so most of our leaders will all level up at once this is complete. Also, I just wanted to see if maybe Champions of the Empire were good early on, since more scientists equal more experience as well, so yeah, I think it's an okay-ish first choice. Okay, so here are our neighbours then. Desert, desert, and desert. Okay, the reason why that's... Whoa. They have been very unlucky with their starting position, wow. They're strangling each other badly. Okay, so the reason why that was important is because I do want... They're already at war. Anyway, I want a migration treaty because I have a lot of worlds like the Savannah and Desert over there, and of course I want more points towards a unifying promise. So, who likes me the most? You? Okay, great. I'll start befriending you even more, and if we're lucky, we'll get a pact soon enough. Well, it seems like they really do like us. Ooh, they are the Federation type I would like as well. At the moment, I will decline, because I need to be able to go to war willingly with whoever I see fit, which I'm hoping I'll find some more species soon. We are completely blocking them, thankfully, and they're kind of just a muddled little squished blob at the moment, so we're okay as we are. But eventually, I will join them to lead them, since the whole point of that type of empire, that type of federation, is one powerful ruler and then loads of weaker vassal states. No, satellite states. How does it word it? Either way, minions.
Expanded.
Okay, lots of levels straight away, and Military Pioneer, fantastic. You are now a strategist, you are now a visionary. And the God Emperor will level up soon, which I'm probably just going to finish off Titan of Industry, to be completely honest. Anytime I'm seeing events like this, rather than going with the long-term ones, I'm instantly going for the extra influence, extra unity, anything like that. Lots of short-term bonuses at the moment. Looks like there's another empire over here we've just about dodged, so we're going back down over here. Over here, annoyingly, Marauder Empire, so I can't get past. And we just need to keep spamming those corvettes. Nice and quickly as well. As soon as we get a single Architect of War, or just more of the Military Pioneers, it will stack up. It will become more powerful. My stamina there kind of showing how I thought it'd be stronger by now, but it's fine. It's fine. We will be more powerful. It's just patience, which is not always my strong suit. And Military Pioneer, there we go. 3 Military Pioneers locked in. Fantastic. Now, what do we want? Unifying Promise. So, the Unifying Promise is costing us influence at the moment. We can swap these if we complete this agenda. I don't think this increases? Yeah, I don't think it increases how fast the promise has gone, but it would increase happiness for a while, and this agenda does go through faster than the others. And each time we do an agenda now, we do gain 300 experience for all of our leaders. However, more unity is good. No, honestly, I just want the unity. I really want to go through these trees, and we're not focusing too much on unity right now. It's mostly economy. That's why we've been able to do everything we can at the cost of tech and everything else. Lots of explorers. And it's always good when our scientists level up because of Champions of the Empire, scientist per level plus 0.5 experience gain. It isn't much, but it does help. Okay, well, officially, I think we are now locked in.
Technology secured.
Oh, yeah, so technically speaking, I now have my first vassal. It's this tiny empire here. It's a pre-FTL that just woke up. I managed to find them first. So now we have a vassal. The reason why I wanted this protectorate is purely because it'll give us more influence per month, and this event occurs. The announcement is focused on the theocracy who have recognized our superiority and submitted to our rule and guidance. Their wisdom and trust will be duly rewarded, and we hope that other nations will also make the right choice and submit. This will increase the luminary trait of the Emperor. Oh, I sense a war of opportunity brewing. Yeah, they just got utterly demolished. I saw their 10k fleet just melt away. So right now, you're probably in a very bad position. Still, because of your tech, you wouldn't serve us willingly, but we could take a couple of your worlds. My fleets are already out. The reason is, there's a Gaia world here being protected by some crystal entities, and I've gone down the route of being hostile to them, so I can do more damage versus the crystal entities. With my fleets mostly already mobilized, I could quickly run in, grab these 2 systems. Do you even have a fleet left? You say inferior, so some of them must be bouncing around somewhere. Make a climb, grab a couple of worlds. That would severely weaken you. It'd increase our power a little bit. But I also like having an ally in the region. Though the funny thing is, the ones attacking you don't mind me either. How mean am I? We have declared war to safeguard our interests. We're simply after this one single world. The other world is nice as well. I think this is more of a tech world. But with this world, at very least, we'll also be getting 2 minor artifacts a month, which is a big deal, honestly. So, I'm afraid this is what I want. Making some ground forces, which will be on the way soon as well.
Enemy assets.
Oh, okay, so the promise was delivered. I think I got to just about 90 points, or just shy of 90. So now we have plus 7.5 stability and plus 15% unity per month. In the message that follows, Charnel regales the Charnels chosen with praise and stories on select individuals' accomplishments, including his own. He goes on to list what we have achieved together. One glorious success after another, building up to a promise of an even greater future. Okay, so it's not per month, it's from jobs, isn't it, the Unity? Yeah. There we go. We also have some fleet reinforcements on the way as well, because this is definitely not enough. Why do they always split up? Despite the God Emperor's work, there is still much to be done. The Empire consists of conflicting factions, and the population is united only through the constant efforts of the God Emperor. Although the God Emperor did not wish to change the post-unification government, a new, more direct approach could remedy some of these problems. On the other hand, such a decision may encounter significant opposition. Of course, we are going to become a true empire. We are now imperial. The news spread like wildfire. A few signatures later, and a grand coronation ceremony was broadcast to the nation. The majority of Charnels chosen are happy that the High King, change his name, will now have full control of state. While the mood is festive, unspoken questions and uncertainties remain. What will this new empire look like? Definitely the military must play a central role. This gives Charnel the unwavering aggressor trait, which will increase ship fire rate, tracking, and chance to hit. Yeah, they're not getting rid of us now, definitely. Ooh, a mega corporation somewhere. That I would love to be best friends with. How much for a claim here? I didn't make this claim before because I wanted to grab systems over here first. That's way too expensive. We're never going to be able to get that before the end of the war, I think. Well, after a few more skirmishes and honestly losing a lot of corvettes there, we have won. The enemy is crushed. The people rejoice as news arrives of a signed peace treaty and the vast concessions our foes are forced to accept. We stand witness to the triumph of Luminary guidance. So the Luminary trait is improved yet again, and we now have a new world. I'll heal up here, then I'll go and take out some of these ruby swarms and everything else. We are doing bonus damage against them, so even if we're a bit weaker in terms of fleet power, we should just melt through them. And they'll give us resource per kill and, of course, experience. Only wary, okay, so you don't hate us right now. It's amazing what bribery can do. So we're going to promise them some tech, in fact, lots of tech. In return, the technocracy will join us as a brand new vassal.
Spaceborne life.
Now, here's the thing. I don't think I have enough tech to actually pay them. So what happens? Do I lose tech, or...? Unable to pay research subsidies. Okay, so is that going to make them less loyal then? Is that what's about to happen, or...? Am I not being punished? Oh, now I've got enough tech to pay it. In that case, I don't really know how that works. Maybe it stacks up for a while, then it takes away? If anyone knows, please tell me, because I have never really done that before. Either way, that's going to massively prop up our economy for a while, so we can supercharge our fleet. We are now going into supremacy. We've just grabbed the master shipperites, which is, again, more ship build speed, less ship build cost, more ship build speed, more blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, I think I just briefly lost my mind. Well, there's a lot of minerals we just gained, which is great, and also a lot of experience for our beautiful corvettes. We are now at the point where the corvettes are insanely cheap, which is very, very nice. And very soon, the Emperor will level up, and then finally we'll get our first Architect of War. With Supremacy now finished, we're going into No Retreat, which will make our fleets look a lot scarier. Okay, so the two vassals which I was paying research into, I am no longer paying research into. There we go. Finally, we have a, not even respectable, but at least we have tech now coming in. Lots of empires are currently fighting each other, so I'm biding my time trying to find who I'm going to attack next. The intellect was just warring with Oh, lots of empires are fighting each other, it seems. Okay, whoever you are about to get your, like, 5th tributary. That is... It's you? The tiny one? Oh, never mind, the tiny one, no, the massive one. Okay, they are crushing it seems. Not really much has been happening for a little while here. I don't really have a clear target for my next aggression. I think really it's probably going to be the machines or the keepers down here who have sadly taken our bestest friends into their fold. I mean, we could go after you. Not too sure, but either way, right now we have mounting opposition. Our ideological opponents have formed a powerful political bloc. They have called upon their supporters to gather in peaceful protest against what they see as unilateral changes enacted by Emperor Charnel. They argue that we have strayed from the path set after the unification, and they call upon the Emperor to repeal certain reforms. How dare they question him? As you can see though, our fleets are now being built a lot faster than before, and now we're getting some basic tech. Their numbers are increasing. I think I should have focused more on tech than unity in this run, to be completely honest. We would be in a better position than we are now. But I'm still learning, so it's all good and fine. And soon we can activate leadership conditioning. This will definitely allow the Emperor to get Architect of War. It'll probably max out the 2 military pioneers we already have. And hopefully we'll be getting a 3rd military pioneer in the form of the Lord Chancellor. The Intellect recently lost a war versus the Federation. As a result, they have joined us willingly. We really are just picking up the weaklings of the galaxy. Charnel is a natural leader, and eventually all will realise this. My stability is terrible at the moment. We have 2 factions which are really unhappy because of all the different species we have in our empire, and with dissidents on the rise, that's also reducing stability. That will be fixed soon enough, don't worry. Oh, so this was before leadership conditioning anyway, but there we go, Architect of War, plus 10%, sorry, minus 10% build cost, plus 30% build speed, and then more research speed into Voidcraft, and chance for Voidcraft to show up. We also have the potential of grabbing Genius Armourer, which is so good in Corvette swarms. The reason is, this is essentially giving 200 extra hit points to every ship, and it's 200 regardless of the ship size. So, for instance, a battleship is 8 navy capacity. For the same capacity, you can get 8 Corvettes, so it's 8 times the 200, or just a single 200. Which is a big deal, and makes Corvettes surprisingly tough to kill. But for now, the Architect of War. Brilliant. Every single one of them has had Military Pioneer. I wonder if the odds are different because of their ethics or because of my ethics? I actually don't fully understand how all of the odds there work, but that is exactly what I wanted. So there we go, 3 full sets of Military Pioneer. Sorry, 2 sets of full Military Pioneer. 2 single Military Pioneers and an Architect of War. The Architect of War, of course, being far more powerful than the rest there. So, Corvettes. 43 alloys and only 16 days per Corvette. And that's with only the first Architect of War. So now we're getting events from the dissidents on the rise. A select group calling themselves the Forgotten have accused the Emperor Charnel of tyranny. They claim that our government no longer represents the will of the people, only the interests of a select few. Their trust in Charnel has waned, and they have brought forward evidence of dissenters who have suddenly disappeared after criticising our regime. Their repeated messages are starting to sow doubt into the minds of our citizens. We will counter these claims. The luminary trait must be upheld. The Covenant was almost completely wiped out by the Executioners. We are now pledging to protect what's left of them in this small island. Which I now realise may be a mistake, because they are absolutely terrifying. Who? No. Not having a defensive pact with you, because you're also under attack from the Executioners. Well, that's worrying. Because this existing means that the Executioners are now becoming a crisis aspirant. They want to end the galaxy. Are you at war still, or is your war over? Okay, the war's over. You've made a defense pact with the Confederation. Okay, actually, with that defense pact, you might be able to hold them off, at least for a while. Question is how weak you are now after that war. You could become my vassal. which would bring you as a subsidy for free. That is tempting. Right now, I am losing most of my influence because I am turning 2 of our empires into the scientific specialty empires. Also, look how cheap our fleets are now. It's glorious. Can I upgrade this Starhold yet? How do I not have Starhold tech? My tech has been such a mess this run.
Technology secure.
I know so many things I would do differently if I was doing this run again. We also finally got our precursor relic, and it's the one I wanted the least that I kind of forgot it was this one. We have the pox sample, which is okay, I guess. Not really anything too special. Well, a bit of a twist here. So the group over here will now join us. This group, on the other hand, have now made a large federation. So at this point, we're kind of seeing 3 major groups. The Federation to the north, the Federation in the center, and the Super Vassal group, and then the Crisis of the Executioners. I've been at war a shockingly low amount of times this run. There we go, a second Architect of War. Brilliant. Okay, so Corvettes are now 15 alloys each and take only 14 days to produce. I know I should make other things other than Corvettes, it's shocking. Wow, this will break my finger just trying to spam this. This is ridiculous. Okay, we need to start using the Fleet Manager permanently after this. I'll do this one last time. We really need to get battleship tech so we can start spamming battleships and see just how cheap and fast they are produced, because that is just mad. You're going to get Architect of War, you're going to get Genius Armorer, the last one will also get Architect of War. Oh, terrible timing, I just spent my Unity. In an attempt to smear the Emperor Charnel's reputation, secret documents have been leaked by an anonymous party. This treasonous act has poured oil into the political fires that were already threatening to consume our government. The forgotten, although prime suspects, appear innocent, as we could not find any proof of their involvement. Sadly then, the Luminary trait just gets weakened. I finally went ahead and took out some Void Clouds. This way we can have Cloud Lightning, which is going to be pretty much our final build. It's going to be Arc Emitter, Strikecraft, Cloud Lightning. That way we're going to be decent versus every type of crisis. The one we don't want to see really is the Scourge. Just because... Actually, no, the Scourge will be fine. As long as we're doing energy repeatables, we can always swap over to Tachyon Lances instead. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I'm also heavily considering going to war versus the Keepers. Although they are now part of their Federation, the Federation isn't particularly powerful. And if we can make them our vassal, then the Corporation will join us. Just because they are currently vassalized to the Keepers. That way as well, we have a nice roadblock for the Executioners. We're currently upgrading our ships again. Now we've got some better tech. So as soon as that's done, the Corvette Swarm will descend upon the Keepers. And they will follow us for galactic peace, stability, and order. Down with the forces of chaos, and glory to the Emperor. Today marks a great victory, but it has not been brought without sacrifice. Our enemies have been destroyed, yet the sting of their betrayal makes my heart bleed. In their selfishness, they sought to destroy us all, but in the end, they were no match for our collective strength. Soon they will be executed for their crimes. We have prevailed. We need a stronger leader, giving us 1 additional... Ooh, actually, that's pretty nice. 1 additional gene modification point, modify species, special project cost reduced, and pop upkeep also reduced. I was going down the genetic route anyway, so that's pretty fantastic. Our leader is a genome artist. The burden of leadership. Oh, that one is actually pretty horrible. Charnel is now an elitist, meaning leader upkeep is increased and amenities usage also increased. Although... is it actually going to trigger? I've seen this not trigger before because of all the different traits we've gone with, the tradition tree and everything. There's only so many negatives Charnel can have, and I think it didn't actually apply.
Counted.
Oh, I haven't seen this in ages. The Wraith. Okay, so this will give us a really good bonus for killing it, so let's send in our ships. Which is still in the process of being upgraded. We're kind of in an endless cycle of upgrading now. Because we've had such bad tech throughout the entire game, and now we've kind of spiked a little bit with it, suddenly we're getting loads of techs all at once. Loads of tech all at once. Plurals is hard.
Construct.
Make way for the swarm. So that's extra energy weapon damage and research speed, and energy from jobs, and of course you also get to do a little parade. Meanwhile, I let out a Grand Demon for even more research speed. The Lord High Admiral has leveled up, and we're going with Genius Armorer. It's one of 2 Destiny traits that'll actually affect the Council, and yeah, an extra 200 hit points for all of our corvettes, in addition to armor and shield hardening, is pretty nice. We have declared war with the entire neighboring Federation.
Construction.
Our goal is to take over the Keepers, and in turn, take over the Corporation.
Receive.
The Swarm will devour all in its path. Your loyalty is mandatory.
0G research platform.
While our fleets are inside their territory causing damage, I have posted 2 of our fleets. No, don't actually go after them. Over here in this nebula, they will protect against anyone else. They're also completely armed with energy weapons, which means they're bad versus shields, good versus armor. This area has full shield nullification. If they dare to go in there, basically, they're just going to melt.
Secured.
You know what? Meanwhile, let's begin bombarding their homeworld.
Technologies.
They actually entered the system.
Attacking enemy vessels.
Ow. It's kind of sad to say at this point, I will be spamming battleships and no longer corvettes. So at the moment, battleships are 267 alloys. They're meant to be in well excess of 1,000 and take only 109 days to create. Whereas normally it's about a year. Okay, let's go for this one. We can take out that. That's a choke point. They have some over there as well. That's fine. You just sit here and go there.
Planet.
Tragedy strikes. The Crown Princess is dead. The Crown Princess is called Corona? Okay, well that's over. We have yet to determine the cause of death, but preliminary reports suggest natural causes. Charnel was struck down hard by the loss of his progeny. A period of national mourning has been decreed, and we await the full results of the investigation into the cause of the heir's death. Although, until then, right now, Charnel is a paranoid tyrant, increasing stability, reducing crime, and reducing unity and happiness. A worthy send-off to Corona. A huge parade of troops and a flyover by naval forces marked the arrival of Corona's casket to its final resting place. Her body was fired into the nearest star during a society-wide broadcast. The departed leader's personal strategies and logbooks will become a part of the curriculum for the next generation of cadets. Despite every evidence pointing at a natural death, the Emperor refused to accept it. The death of his heir has greatly affected his blank, and orders have been sent across our territories. Those responsible for this cowardly assassination must be found. Security forces are already conducting sweeps to root out dissenters. The level of violence that has accompanied these arrests has shocked many of our citizens. Protests denouncing the abuses of power and demanding a new wave of government reforms have erupted once again. For the first time in our history, the majority of a planet's population has risen up against the rule of the Emperor. So right now, less stability and more egalitarian ethics attraction. To finish this, what we need to do is finish off total crackdown. But first, I do want to finish off inner stability. This will make sure that our worlds are completely fine during all this unrest.
Spaceport under attack.
On the upside, our leader's getting lots of experience from all this. On the downside, this is taking way longer than I expected. We are currently just equivalent to the Executioners, despite the fact we've been spamming battleships in the background. Which are now finally starting to look like the proper deal. So we have the Arc Emitter, we'll have the focused one soon enough. We have the Disruptors, and then the Cloud Lightning. Oh, I do need to swap that out there. Finally, total crackdown is active. This is what we need next, the minus to the ship upkeep. We can fix our navy capacity as we go. This is so nice though, the minus upkeep. So we want Military Pioneer up until the Destiny trait, and then as much as this as we can get from all of our leaders. Probably except for Charnel, I imagine. Can I get the last council member finally? Finally, there we go. Okay, thanks to the council's hard work, the reformist leaders have been swiftly apprehended. They are now at the mercy of the Emperor, but they have many supporters amongst the populace, and it is advisable to negotiate an outcome that suits both parties. Albeit on our terms. After months of conflict, the time has come to resolve our differences and talk about how we can end this ridiculous revolt. The Emperor has called for a ceasefire to negotiate with the reformists. All hostilities have ceased as everyone awaits the outcome of the negotiations. It is time for Emperor Charles to retake the helm of state. Blessed with the heritage of the luminary, Charles remains a magnetic figure. However, the increasing power of the reformists and the full-fledged civil war looming on the horizon, the Emperor issued a call to negotiations. Charles reports that early negotiations have been tense. Representatives from all corners of the Chosen have made their demands before listening to our Emperor's official statement, which listed the concessions we might accept. So I'm going to go with we will give them what they want. It simply makes our Charles Chosen now have social welfare and a bit more political power for the workers. Ultimately, though, the status quo is not changed. Glory to the Emperor.
Attacking enemy vessels.
And the Lord Chancellor leveled up in that last attack, leading to our 4th Architect of War. 143 alloys and only 86 days per battleship. The corvettes are 22 alloys and only 10 days. So you may be wondering, why didn't I go more into all of the minus upkeep? Because clearly that's become a problem. It's really slowed down our everything, just the sheer upkeep of having so many ships. Well, it's because my idea for the endgame crisis is going to be throwing endless ships into the meat grinder. So we send them, they do damage, they die. We send more, they do damage, they die. And we keep making them so quickly, it doesn't really matter. We are about to get the mega engineering trait, research rather, which means we can also now make the mega shipyard, which will be the one mega structure we definitely make, which increases ship build speed by a massive margin. More experience for our glorious leaders.
Invasion commenced.
Finally, 99% war exhaustion I got to. That is ridiculous.
Technology secured.
So there we are. Their federation is going to be in a very bad state now, and very vulnerable to being attacked, I might add, so have fun with that. And we now have 2 vassals. Now the problem is one of these vassals, I believe... Oh, I thought you were a bulwark. Oh! Oh? Did they just swap you over mid-war? I could have swore they were... 1,000 energy? Oh, because you're a mega corporation, aren't you? So you've got loads of, holdings everywhere, including in my territory, which is feeding you, and now you're feeding me that back. Okay. Yeah, in that case, you can stay with what you are. That's absolutely fine. Will you be loyal, is the question. Not right now. That's because you hate me right now. You're just going to give me resources for the time being. I'll change you over later. Sure. That'll keep the war effort moving anyway. You just lost the war with your neighbours. Now, the problem is, you're a xenophobic isolationist. Which didn't matter. Oh, I thought xenophobic isolationists couldn't become the specialists. I mean, honestly, at this moment, I'd rather just have the research, so sure. We've now split the galaxy into 2, by the way.
Life form encountered.
We are the dividing line between order and chaos. What we need to do now is start taking out some of the Leviathans. I've been waiting as long as I can so I get maximum unity from them, and I think it's about time. So let's start taking them out. We have one there, and we also have the Matriarch somewhere over here. No, that's the Devourer. Are you the Matriarch then? No, you're just one of those worlds. Oh, maybe the Matriarch was killed. A few of the Leviathans have been killed already. So there's at least 3 left. Okay.
Cleared.
Have I set them all to carrier rather than artillery? I definitely have. Well, it worked to reduce the losses anyway, so that's fine. I'll leave them like it for now. Okay, now they're down. Let's go and take out the Devourer as well. We stand united today as one. So I'm going to be getting those events quite a lot. Wait, that bonus isn't Empire-wide, is it? The extra alloys. Definitely on a single world, correct? Which world did it end up going to? I should have paid more attention. There we go. Okay, well, it is already an industrial world, so that's fine. I'll obviously swap it over now to a pure forge. Almost instantly, as soon as the Federation lost its 2 other players, they're now under attack by the Executioners. My plan is to turn the Coalition into a vassal, then we'll take over the Federation to the north, and then together we will lead the charge against the Executioners, removing them from this galaxy. I have it on video that you were not a bulwark. I was just looking and suddenly my resources plummeted. I knew you were a bulwark, but then we checked and you weren't one, so I was all happy and... Now you've converted into a bulwark. I don't understand. But then your leveling tier thing isn't there. Now you're not loyal, so you won't be getting points regardless. So it almost counts you as if you're still becoming a bulwark. I don't get what's just happened. Because even if they're disloyal, not getting points, the tier system still pops up, right? I am so confused about this empire and what just happened.
Species modified.
Oh, its armor was still completely up. The Archimeters did all the work in that fight. Either way, we get the opportunity, right? So, yes, of course, we will also research them. We've finished off genetics, so now we have one last tree we can go down. Probably discovery. The prosperity is nice. I'm going to go down the route of discovery. Okay, it's happening. Also, when did Charnel's face change? Why do you have brown hair now and a different outfit? I mean, the outfit's less weird than the whole body change, the whole face changing, but sure, whatever, let's continue. Fellow Charnel's Chosen, today I want you to know I am filled with pride. As a people, we have came together and, despite differences, ventured into the unknown, built new worlds and reached new heights of ingenuity. I want to acknowledge your sacrifice. The Emperor suddenly staggers out of view. The news didn't take long to spread amongst the population. The Emperor is dying. While the cause of this mysterious illness remains unknown, it does not appear to be immediately terminal. For now, Charnel can remain at their post, however, unorthodox methods will be necessary to extend our leader's life by any significant amount of time. Obviously, there must be something we can do. There we go, Military Pioneer on our final Admiral. Brilliant, that's exactly what I was after. Ship upkeep reduced. Oh, I didn't realise Charnel hadn't quite finished Military Pioneer yet. Well, now he has. And once again, less upkeep. Thank you very much. That's so needed at the moment. Emperor Charnel has appeared on every screen across the Empire. Our population is waiting for the address to begin. Today is a fateful day. Charnel stands proudly as he, the news, sure, is delivered. The galactic community has elected us to supreme custodianship. They have recognized that we alone are poised to ensure the safety of this galaxy. We have been granted great power, and it is our duty to not only meet, but to surpass all expectations. The luminary trait improves, and we get extra happiness for a while. How strong is the luminary trait now? Almost plus 10 stability and almost plus 20% unity. That is lovely.
Blocker cleared.
Now attacking the Machine of Fallen Empire. Yeah, we're not super powerful at this point in the game, but to be honest, we do hard counter them and we do have multitudes more fleet power.
Receiving communications.
Beautiful. Okay, can you please start bombarding their worlds? That would be very kind of you. We have ground forces here, don't we? Yeah, not very strong ones, but still. That'll be ours soon enough. And was I building more ground forces? I can't remember. Did Lathrix do the smart thing, or did Lathrix do the dumb thing? Lathrix did the dumb thing and forgot to build more ground forces. Okay, the Ministry of Defense has reached max level, so more Navy capacity, even less upkeep. Fantastic, that's exactly what we need. And more military pioneer from the Arbiter of Duels, because of course. I guess they both just got a lot of experience from destroying the Fallen Empire fleets.
Construction complete.
Okay, so the entire galaxy is now here.
Ground invasion force has seen.
The Galactic Defense Force is now ready. So all the Galactic Defense Forces is a nice little fleet, well I'll say little, a very big fleet, which won't be using our Navy capacity, which of course is a very, very big deal. And it's just going to have the exact same stuff as before. I'm actually going to stick with Carrier. I'm not going to go with the Sapient combat computers, just in case we end up going with the contingency. I say going with the contingency, in case the contingency end up as our enemies. But the Carriers have been, honestly, loads of fun. They just stay at the back, they don't get as many shots off with the Arc Emitter and the Cloud Lightning, but the idea is they just run away and let the Strike Craft wear at the enemy. I'm tempted to go double Strike Craft. No, we'll stick with this for now. That first shot is very, very important. And for you, full Cloud Lightning. More armor as well, and of course we do want one of these. So I'm hoping the Afterburners will help out with the battleships for them to run away. That's the logic I have in my head anyway. And just go with a nice standard one for this, for our first Titan. Let's just go with, you know what? More fire rate. More damage is always good. We are making a move to remove the term limit of our custodian ship. Meanwhile, in our ring worlds, we are adding our clone vats to every single one of our worlds. This will massively increase the population growth. And once our scientist is done with all the debris, let's try and grab at least one of these two systems, because this is where all of our alloys are going to go in the near future, because lots and lots of extra ring world space. That means we're going to be able to keep on scaling until the crisis arrives. Which again, could be at any moment now. We've hit that point. I think we're strong enough to deflect the crisis for a while, but probably not run them out of the galaxy straight away. Executioners, I really want to fight you right now, but I do not have the resource to spare. Well, this is annoying. We are now at war versus the Executioners because the vote weight apparently wasn't set how I wanted it to. Okay, let's see if we can stick together, go into their territory and try and take out their fighters. Yeah, we'll leave the rest of our federations try and take space. If we can just get there and start doing some damage. Oh, good, good. And at the moment, the Fallen Empire is actually attacking them, so they're kind of being caught up in all that. They're not doing badly against them, weirdly. I do think the Executioners are stronger than the Fallen Empire. But they're very split, as you can see. Such weird, borders. Where do I even want to go? All their fleets are here, so let's see if I can get them all the way over there. Fine. It's going to take a while, but send everything and just split up once you're in their territory. Let's see if we can remove them before the crisis. If the crisis arrives, we'll double back. So what I find interesting, I didn't realise this, is that the crisis, when it's a crisis aspirant, does count as a true crisis, at least to the other empires. So because of that, they are mostly supporting my claim to the Galactic Imperium. Before, I was forced to use the emergency measures to get things into the actual Senate, and then our power over so many vassals allowed us to win from there. This time, they are willingly giving up their freedom for protection. Something which has never gotten badly in the past. A hulking ship has emerged from the gates. Its sheer scale unlike anything we have seen before. Military forces have been put on high alert. The unknown vessel is not responding to our hails, but given the fact that it appears to be completely disabled, we will not engage it for now. Investigation and attempts to open comms continue. What are you? Ooh. Final flight. A Talon class. I have legitimately no idea what that is. I've decided to go with both World Shaper and the Archaeology Project. Lathrix, why would you need both? They both just upgrade worlds. Well, it's because we're not going to have enough influence to turn every single world into the Archaeology Project, so only a select few will be converted. But we don't need Galactic Wonders because, well, we're about to grab 2 more systems with full ring worlds to repair. And as much as the Dyson Sphere and Matter Decompressor are awesome, I'm just going to build up these instead, and then have our worlds as super worlds. Now what I do need to do, though, is activate terraforming gases, because these things take a very, very long time otherwise. How did I miss some of them? That's the important thing there. Yeah, so these 4 will definitely become Archaeology worlds. Everything else I'm converting into a Gaia world. Where are my fleets? Okay, good, they're finally arriving. Though, to be fair, my allies are doing a pretty good job making sure the enemy don't get through. I think we're going to be okay with just, you know, the entire galaxy fighting them. Our investigation into the hulking ship hasn't yielded many answers. However, we have been able to decipher some of the data we received when the gate first opened. It appears that the ship has been stuck inside the gate for an unknown and possibly incredible length of time. To find out more, we will need to board the ship. As it is a military vessel, sending a special ops unit is advised.
Situation log updated.
Okay, so need some transport ships then. Let's just quickly make some together. You know what? Let's send in... Oh. Do I really not have xenomorphs yet? Why has my tech been so weird this run? So they Zerg rushed one of their Star Eaters into a citadel. I mean, that's one of the oddest things I've seen in a long time in Stellaris. It's a box attacking a starbase. And not doing great, I may add. I think the box will die to this eventually. Yep, there goes the box hull. I guess it was planning on destroying the star. Oh, yep, there it goes. Goodbye. They're not the most effective crisis. Apparently, the enemy is not the only one who likes to rush their ships ahead. So my corvettes kind of hit this fleet and won. Never mind, it was a very big corvette fleet, but I did just lose like 100 ships. Anyway, uneasy welcome. Soon after boarding the vessel, we encountered a group of uniformed aliens. Startled by our sudden appearance, they were quick to draw weapons. Thankfully, a firefight was avoided. Calling for calm, the alien commander explained that the ship is in need of emergency repairs. Once all systems are operational, he and his crew intend to return to their home planet, Scravid. Dressed in full military regalia, he certainly cuts an impressive figure. The ship's crew speak of him with reverence, and the force of his personality is palpable even to our people. He has already raised the possibility of establishing formal diplomatic relations. Ignore him, seize the ship. No, obviously we're gonna help him. Let me guess, construction vessel? Or... yeah. Get to it. How long is that gonna take? 1,800 days? Okay, apparently their ship is a mega structure, because that is a long time. Speaking of which, though, our mega shipyard is now on its way. Okay, there we go. So, all we need to do now is take over these worlds. I'll have some ground forces on the way momentarily.
Counted.
Nice. Some of our allies have fleets of 70k plus. In fact, most of them do. Our fleets are only 112, well, 120k on average. Some of them are supercharged because of really, really overpowered leaders, but yeah. Okay, the first of our ground forces are making it through the gateway. We're going to need a lot more, though, because that's a lot of ground forces on these worlds. It is a shame, because with this, I believe I'll have to sacrifice my Federation, but it is completely worth it, considering it's so on theme for this run. We officially proclaim the First Galactic Imperium. It is the dawn of a new order. The old galactic community has been dismantled, and in its place, the first galactic imperium has risen. After claiming our rightful place on the throne of this new pan-galactic state, we are now known as the Imperial Core. In the lavish coordination ceremony broadcast to the entire galaxy, a new imperial dynasty was established when Charnel was crowned Galactic Emperor on throne. Long live the Emperor. Long live the Imperium. Now, here's a problem. We have just become fanatically authoritarian. Oh, good, so I do get to keep all my leaders. I was a little bit worried there, to be completely honest. We are now the Galactic Sovereign. Now, all of our previous Federation members, I believe they're also kicked out of the Federation. Oh no, I thought all federations were removed. Am I mistaken there? Oh, well in that case I might have to attack them to make them vassals then. Isn't that a shame? Oh well. As for our government, we're going to be keeping it exactly the same as it was before. Can you please stop changing your hairstyle? It's weird every time. Today is the day of our triumph. The Galactic Senate has appointed Galactic Emperor Charnel Emperor of the Galactic Imperium. Oh my god, that's a tongue twister. Galactic Emperor Charnel, Galactic Emperor of the Galactic Imperium. I got it wrong the second time. In salute, Charnel swears to usher the known galaxy and its peoples into a new age of prosperity, from now and to eternity. Of course, the luminary trait once again improves. Now at plus 11.2 stability and 22.50% unity. And on the note of our new level of power, our mega shipyard is almost complete and is now producing battleships every 63 days. Corvettes every 7 days. We do not have the next Architect of War yet. We have taken over the home system of the Purifiers, and with that, the engine has been destroyed. I've also decided that the species which was behind all of this, I'm classing as undesirables. I can't do anything worse than I'm currently doing, though, right? Yeah, displacement or prohibited, so we're continuing to be an actually quite nice empire, all things considered. I think the ground forces of our ally are controlled by their Minister of Defense. Yeah, the ones that are so low level, I'm assuming you lost them in some other ground invasion, since ground invasions can be really randomly dangerous to their leaders sometimes. Even when you win. I can't see any of their fleets anymore. Okay, I see one over there. Tiny one. No, that's not even them. Yeah, I think my allies have pretty much wiped out the remaining ones, and now they're just grabbing systems for themselves. Beautiful. I'd say the threat is pretty much nullified, so now we're just waiting for the endgame crisis. Meanwhile, back at our soon-to-be fully operational mega shipyard. Yeah, things are even faster now. 7 days for a Corvette, only 57 for a battleship. We are ready for any crisis. Oh, back to this. Okay, Forgotten Admiral. Our engineering team has ably assisted the alien crew. The vessel's designation translates roughly to First Talon, and their commander has identified himself as Scrand Sharpbeak, an admiral of renown. By comparing data from the First Talon's databanks with our own, we have confirmed that the Scrand and his crew were trapped within the gate for several millennia. For them, it was a short trip, but for the rest of the galaxy, thousands of years passed by. They have no home to return to. Everything and everyone they have ever loved is long since gone.
Attacking.
Oh, I recognise you. How did I not click it was you? Hello, Scran Sharpbeak. Scravid has fallen. My home is no more. Billions of lives gone. The first Talon has become the last Talon, and I am a soldier without a cause. For your help, and on behalf of my crew, I pledge our allegiance. Our thanks, but we have worthy admirals of our own. No doubt, but know that my service is not offered lightly. As a token of goodwill, I will instruct my engineers to keep the Talon operable, and teach your engineers how to maintain it. This ship is the pride of my lost homeworld, built with the talons of workers who gave their lives to the project. It's the last piece of our home, all that is left to remind us of our fledgling nests. Suffice to say, I would fight Beacon Claw to stop you. So, carrier focus, extra strike craft damage, that's great. They have Shield of the Empire, evasion in friendly systems, fire rate in friendly systems plus 45%, and shield hit points in friendly systems increased. Engineer rank 2, resilience, and... well, obviously we're going to hire them.
To a glorious flight.
Huh, and they have a little bit of voice acting as well. Lovely. Okay, so there we go. We've got a new renowned, sorry, a legendary admiral. Oh, did that not count towards the leader capacity? I did not know that. We can't... why can't we check out the ship? What does it have? I'm assuming it has strike craft, but other than that, I don't really know. So it's a Titan class by the looks of things. Yeah, okay, get to the mega shipyard, you will be commanding something. It seems mean to separate Scrand from his ship, but yep, he is now going to be ruling over the Armada.
Planetary invasion.
So we've hit a bit of a snag. We have all but destroyed the purifiers at this point. The rest of the Empire was strong enough to deal with it, so it all made sense. Empire Galaxy. I guess it is my Empire now. Anyway, the problem is they were at war with the Remnant, and the Remnant have grabbed these systems and don't have any fleets left, and the fleets of the purifiers have also been destroyed. So we can't really end this war. Which is really annoying because all of my former Federation members would have gladly joined me as vassals, which would have pretty much put the whole galaxy under my control. Okay, so thankfully it turns out in that territory which the Fallen Empire had, there wasn't actually any world. So after we grabbed the last world over here, the crisis has now been averted. There is a Fallen Empire left, but really not all that much else, so now it's just waiting around for the crisis. So, with the lag being quite bad at the moment, I'll be right back once the crisis finally shows its face.
Technology secured.
I don't really know which one I'm most looking for right now, honestly. All of them I'd say I'm pretty equally ready to deal with. Our fleet is ridiculous. Although our tech didn't get very good, as you can see, we still have loads of resources, whereas normally I'd be struggling a little bit at this point, and it's purely because of just how cheap our ships are to make. Seriously, at this point, battleships now cost us 168 alloys. It's nothing. It makes no dent in our economy. Well, we didn't have to wait that long, and normally I would try and find out where exactly it is, but it's right next to our borders. The Scourge have arrived. Look at those 1.8 million fleets. Okay, so against the smaller ones, we're not going to be as good. Against the larger ones, we'll be fantastic. What we need to do then is future designs are going to be changed. So we're going purely into anti-armor, anti-hull, rather than going straight through them. Okay, there's no point in upgrading what we already have. That takes way too long, so please, all ships, get to here. No, get to here. Let's make a choke point. Ah, aren't they lovely?
Vessels.
Okay, there's one fleet there on its own, so we can quickly pick this one off. Yeah, our corvettes and stuff are going to be melted, but our battleships should be fine. Any damage we do take, we will be able to quickly replenish. We are by far the strongest I've ever been. I am so disappointed the endgame crisis didn't spawn earlier. Remember, it could have arrived before, well, straight after 2300. Now, here's the main problem. It's a pretty big problem, honestly. Even if we defeat the scouts, the others will still spawn in, so we don't really want to go forward too much, because otherwise we might be ambushed by just a ridiculous amount of Scourge. Why do you run so far forwards? Juggernaut, get back. Juggernaut, why? You know what, I'm going to keep on moving forwards. I don't mind losing some of my ships. We hard countered the Scourge. Well, not that much, but our new ships will. So I'm going with the logic of if we lose our fleets, we have enough power to create new fleets. We should be able to replenish if we lose everything. Oh, but then I might lose the leaders. I take back what I just said. But I'm still going to go forward anyway. Just not maybe as
Attacking enemy
brazen.
assets.
Ooh, the storm is actually great for us. It removes shields, which doesn't really matter to us, but it also slows down everything in the fight, which is really good for our Strikecraft's main build. Okay, I'm going to change War Doctrine to Hit and Run. Lower chance of losing our leaders.
Vessels.
You see, with the storm currently on, the enemy really can't... Wow, the storm is just ridiculous for this. Yeah, we can outrange them with the arc emitters, and our Strikecraft are instantly swarming them, so we can just clear them up. They literally can't reach us. How many Strikecraft I have? It's like a cloud all by itself. That's probably destroying YouTube's bitrate right now. Take that, YouTube! Well, I've cleared up most of the scout wave. That's not exactly too much to be proud of. I've done that countless times in the past. But still, with the scout wave gone, all the new ships are going to be the ones we counter more, because they rely mostly on Strikecraft and missiles, which we can take away with our... Oh, that's bad. Loads of point defense and Strikecraft is what I was going to say. Okay, that was that, I think. Okay, can you all please, as fast as you can, get out of this main section? Just because we killed the scouts, it doesn't stop the next wave anymore, like it used to a long time ago. Okay, second wave is here. Meanwhile, in the background, let's spam some... Okay, let's not just... You know what? No, I'm going to spam this, because I want to see how long it takes for me to run out of alloys with how cheap we're making them. It's meant to be, if we take a look-see there at the cost of this thing, well over 1,500. Actual cost, 175. Now, I'm not very good at maths. I ain't good at math, I ain't good at numbers, but I think that's a bit less. And once again, we didn't even get our final Architect of War. What I should have done is with our other admirals, I should have had one ready and leveling up. In fact, I should have had all of them ready and leveling up as soon as we could, rather than hiring them as we got the new slot. That's why this one's so far behind. Yes, I know the Imperium is under siege. Despicable neutrals! What makes a species turn neutral? Lust for gold? Power? Or were they born with hearts full of neutrality? This is a placeholder personality and should not show up in game. So some kind of rebellion happened there at some point, and the game did not like it. Oh, do I want to jump here to stay? While the storm's operational, we are so much more powerful, but at the same time... Okay, two of them just left.
Attacking.
Oh, there we go.
vessels.
Where did they show up? Ah, with the storm, they're doomed. There's no chance they're going to arrange their acid blasts. Their missiles and their Strikecraft will be just denied by our Strikecraft. The damage isn't as good as I expected. Yeah, this is where the Tachyon Lancers would have been far better than the arc emitters, but still, because we're not destroying the hull before the armor goes down, because most of our damage is actually the Strikecraft. Ooh, it's actually far less damage than I expected.
Council agenda available.
Can you please go away? I'm trying to watch this. What I should do is military applications and armor damage. We should also probably go with the other bonuses, to be honest. So, fuel. We don't need the terraforming gases anymore. That's already all finished. Focusing crystals and volatile armor. Wait. Desperate measures. What does that do again? Build speed if we're in a defensive war. Sadly, we're not in a defensive war, but that would have been so funny. I think we might lose some corvettes, but that's it, because the battleships are nowhere near the enemy. Oh, that is just mean! Well, that's one of their main fleets destroyed. Ooh. We have received a request from several members of the Talon's crew. They have asked us to use our resources to research their people's past. Much occurred while the Talon lay in limbo. They've asked that we record, of course, to the archives. Start the situation. Lessons of the past. Yeah, I'll definitely do that, 100%. Wait, plus 16? Apparently we're rushing through this. I wonder if it's based on how much society tech we have, because we're doing this later on. Is there so much... Actually, where is old Mr. Talon, anyway? There you are. Yeah, there's the main fleet. Move forward, I suppose, and hopefully most of them have jumped out of the system. Looks like all of them have jumped out of the system. Oh, okay, so the migration. We have the first report on the history of Scrand and his people. In their time, the galaxy was vast and unknown, the outer rims considered too dangerous to explore. Around the galactic center, vast empires vied for power. One was an avian civilization. Where others saw darkness, these intrepid explorers glimpsed opportunity. So began the Grand Migration. Oh, one of our admirals just died. I bet he was commanding one of the corvette fleets. Thankfully, he wasn't one of our council members. Plan a grand parade. More monthly ship build speed. Yep, that's what we needed more than anything else. Look at how many we've built in the background already. That is ridiculous. 48 days for a battleship. Look. I come from Britain, where any construction effort will take 20 times the duration they originally said. This is just weird for me. Here follows another report of the history of Scrand and his people. The migration was long over. Secure along the galaxy's outer rim, Scrand's kin enjoyed both peace and prosperity. But having traded vigilant for comfort, they were unprepared for the coming menace. The attackers came without warning, no wings were unfurled, neither talon nor beak flashed in combat. From space, the faceless invaders bombed the avian worlds. In their wake, they left only death. Ooh, I'm actually curious. Is it going to be the Scourge or another one of the crises, or is it going to be something we've never heard of? Okay, so there's 3 fleets at the back there. That actually poses a threat. There are 2 here. We have a storm in this system, don't we? No. It's quite a small system as well. Oh, don't wake up now. Oh, it doesn't matter. You're nothing. I made a farty noise because of it, which is a very rare thing for me to do. Okay, you're heading that way. Where's the other fleet? Is it over here? It said there was 2. Where's the second? Oh, unless they're hyperstacked. Oh. It's fine. We've activated all the other stuff this time, so we're doing more damage to armor. Our energy weapons are doing bonus damage. We have more armor ourselves. Our fleets will be fine. And honestly, if we lose them, it doesn't matter. We can make stuff faster than Crisis can at this point. All those arc emitter shots wasted on those transport vessels.
Vessels destroyed.
I had vessels destroyed. Okay, it's just corvettes. Oh, let's ignore the fact I'm about to lose loads of my ships. We've received another report on the history of Scrand and his people. Scrand's government collapsed. Its economy lay in ruins, but the valor of its people was undiminished. Far from the front lines, a project was hatched. Ha! Hatched, 'cause they're birds. A ship would be built unlike any that has came before. Its sheer scale would strike terror into the enemy. When the first Talon was ready, it was placed under the command of the last of Scraverds admirals. Young and untested, Scrand went to war. Soon his people would hail him as Menacebane, First Claw. That's cool.
Technology secured.
Okay, they are melting, just not as fast as I would hoped. No, we're fine now, because although you can see some acid blasts hitting our ships, most of them are staying far back in this ring. In fact, I think we're about to make a ring around them. And again, their strike craft and their missiles have been completely nullified, so it's only the acid blasts getting through, just isn't enough shots. Beautiful. Okay, we need to find a system where the storm is currently raging. Okay, they're moving that way, so I think what we should do is go forwards, take out this system, and then stay on the very edge of the system, so then when they come back to attack us, they have to go through the entire system, even though it's a small one, through the storm, and that should make us win. Thus reads the final report on the history of Scrand and his people. The first Talon, first and last of his line, cut through the enemy ranks. Battle after battle was won by the cunning and valour of its crew, and their commanders. Alas, its flight was short-lived. No ship, not even one such as the Talon, could turn the tide of war on its own. In desperation, Scrand and his officers planned to sacrifice themselves in the last defence of Skarvard. In a daring bid to outflank the enemy, Scrand ordered the Talon into an untested gateway. Neither he nor the Talon were ever heard from again. I mean, that's just sad. Bird, bro. Oh, that's so annoying. They've already grabbed worlds. The thing is, we have just taken out one of their fleets. So there's only 2 fleets left. I think it'd be best if we just went in there and tried to destroy them. And then we're going to need some ground forces before any of those worlds turn into infested worlds. Same over here, please. That's interesting. Why is it saying there's a brood there? I thought... Oh, okay, so we've missed one of the broods. In that case, yeah, definitely need to go there. Oh, great! Is that both of them? As one of them? Okay, they've split up again, so all 3 of them... No, don't jump. All go. Turn, please. Don't let Scrand die. Oh, we just split our forces as well. On the other side, we split them pretty well. There's 3... Interesting. They must have respawned one of their fleets then. Please break through this as fast as possible. The others are going to need your help desperately. I just made a major tactical error. Oh, we're even close to them as well. Though this is really showing how good the Strikecraft are versus them. Just turning off half of their weapons, believe it or not, makes a big difference. Okay, this one's gonna finish. Lovely. Come on, fantastic. Some damage stacking up on these fleets. But no, once again, with the storm as well, the storm has helped immensely. Please make sure to take out that ground force so it can't grab any more of these many colonies. That would be wonderful. Oh, please don't say they're infested. No, not yet. They're only infested once... Oh, there's another swarm. Okay, the storm's been really useful to us, but it's also completely blocked my view of what's been going on. Anyway, they're only infested once everything's dead on the world except for the Scourge. So it does take a little while. I just want to clear them before we have to bombard them, because bombarding takes way longer. Okay, can you please get out of there? That'd be great. The death animations legitimately make me feel sad. The fact that they are so... Although they're a hive mind, the fact they're so animalistic looking and everything else, it just feels like you're killing a hunting animal rather than hunting a sapient threat. And that's sad. Oh, it looks like our allies are actually clearing up a lot of the ground forces by themselves, which is good. Okay, no Scourge here. Oh, no, it counts as theirs, but they haven't grabbed the world, which is weird. Let's make sure to grab it then. Okay, one more of the broods have returned. Please get your butts there. I don't know if you can hear it in the background during this recording, but my toads have been super loud today, and there's currently building work going on in the house, so the only room they can currently be in is the room I'm currently in, the recording room. And they won't shut up. I love them, but they are old and stupid. I wish you could have a whole fleet of just Titans. Like a whole navy worth of Titans. But it's so fun to watch. Big old lasers. The storm has been so useful, but I've been hunting down like single Scourge this whole time. Oh, there's another fleet. As to prove the problem with Scourge right there. There we go, fighting from both sides, perfect. Is this it? I feel like this should be it. Also, it's a little bit late, but yeah, a united front, you know, because more damage is good. Where are the rest of them? You didn't grab those. You didn't grab those. Nope, all of you are ours. Is it this? Ruined orbital ring. Why is the ruined orbital ring still saying it's Scourge? Didn't grab those. I think it went to this system briefly, but we stopped it from even taking out the station. No, I think it's done. I can't see anything else it could really be. So we should get the victory against the Scourge, right?
Attacking enemy
Oh.
vessels.
Is it because there's still construction vessels jumping around? Is this it?
Planetary invasion commenced.
I so rarely see the Scourge actually defend. We're gonna win, right? We might not win with these ground forces. We have a lot more though nearby, so it's not a big deal.
Technology secured.
That first wave was just to weaken them, that's all.
Ground invasion force has seized a planet.
Anything else? I think it is this ruined orbital ring. I've looked everywhere here. I can't see a single Scourge. Hey, do you want to join me? You're like the overlord of several things, and... yeah, good. I'll keep on looking for a while, but I can't find it. This is why I haven't made the all-crisis type run, by the way, because I started one, I got to this point, and the game glitched worse than this with the endgame crisis, and I wanted to play with Iron Man on. The annoyance has made me not continue that video. So, I will still be doing the all-crisis run in the future, but I will be playing without Iron Man, that way we can use console commands in order to, yeah, force spawn crises. I mean, this one as well, I wanted the crisis to be super early because I knew how strong this build would be later on. It still took over 20 years for them to spawn in. I just vassalized the hierarchy, who had 2 more vassals, so the entire galaxy is now vassalized to me as well. The the Awakened Empire is nothing to me, and I have been looking this entire time at every single system nearby. There's nowhere they could have jumped to, there's no world currently invaded. The only thing I can see, which is currently Scourge, is this ring. And I have no way of doing anything with it. And it is slowly eating my soul. I just wanted to see the Scourge thing pop up. I don't even know what the Scourge gives you, the relic it gives you, because now the Unbidden and the Contingency do. What does the Scourge give? I can't remember. The in-game sound just turned off. Okay, well, I'm not even going to add some music here. I just want you to be with the silence with me. Let's allow the month to roll over so it updates. Corvettes are now produced in only 5 days. 5. Meanwhile, battleships are made in 45, and the galaxy is ours. I can't find the last Scourge. I'm only assuming it has to be that ring world. I have checked every last system now meticulously, and if I have missed something, I am going to kick myself, but I just can't find anything. So we can't get the victory screen for the Scourge, so I am claiming this is a victorious run. For reasons unknown to me, it took me 2 restarts for the game to actually start working properly again with the audio. I also started getting some weird stuttering, so clearly something was going on there in the background which was making the game really not be all that happy. I will still be doing the all-crisis type fairly soon. I have a whole build I want to use for it. It's going to be ridiculous, and I am going to turn up the difficulty further than I did in this video, because clearly I keep on underestimating the power of the new leaders and combos in this game. You can really out-combo a lot of things now, so I will be turning on the extra research setting, which I always forget the name of, in addition to maybe even advanced starts, which is the thing I hate above all else, because it's just such a cheaty setting that I do not find very engaging. But it is getting to that point where I do need more of a challenge, clearly, and I will also be looking into mods. That all being said, I had a load of fun with this recording, and it is an empire I would definitely like to play with again in the future. And the Emperor himself was clearly fantastic. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favorites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stellaris is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Goodbye.